Hello there. So, following last week's crash, I'm already halfway through the restoration of my 981, and so I thought it was a good time to both document what I've done and also to provide a damage assessment. Um, so, I've in summary, I've been extremely lucky in terms of only having minimal damage from the car. I mean, it might look pretty bad, but actually this is after all the external parts have been taken out. I mainly wanted to check whether the structure was damaged in any way, and that was absolutely not the case. So the main structure of the vehicle is untouched, as well as the suspension, radiator. I mean, the car drove straight, and so that's what I expected anyway. But it was just good to get confirmation of that once all the parts had been removed. In terms of the parts that I will need to replace, the main piece is the fender, which is sitting in the corner with the front bumper. And in order to get to this state, what I had to do was remove the headlights, which were quite easy. There's some good guides online. Basically, all the stuff that I've done, you can find online videos for. The only thing which isn't explained, which I haven't found so far, is the process of removing the front left fender. There is a video out there explaining the removal of the right fender, but for the left fender, I haven't seen a video. So hopefully my video can help out anyone that is undergoing that process. So after you remove the front headlights, the next thing in order to be able to remove the fender is to remove the front bumper. So my front bumper received some scratches, but structurally it's okay. I might have to replace one or two trim pieces, but overall the bumper is still in great shape. The bumper was removed by taking off a bunch of screws underneath in the and as well as on the wheel well, unplugging, disconnecting the lights and the blinker from the wiring harness, unclipping the headlight washer and rubber line from the inside of the bumper, and then after the bumper is taken off, the car was jacked up, so I could take off the wheel. After the wheel is removed, it gave access to the front wheel arch liners. After the wheel arch liners are taken out, there's just a bunch. It's just some screws that you need to loosen and a few nuts that was holding the rear wheel arch liner to the vehicle body. It was possible to get access to this portion as well as this portion. So the front fender is attached to the vehicle body by a few screws up here, by a few bolts, 3 bolts over here, and then I think it was 3 screws back here, and then it was connected to this bottom rocker panel. Is that what it's called? But this bottom piece here. So once all, the main ones which are hard to access are the ones along here and along here. So in order to get access to the 3 screws over here, it was necessary to unbolt the washer bottle. This was done using just a single screw, and then after the single screw was unloosened, this thing basically it was kind of held in place in these 2 mounting holes by these grommets, so you just have to wiggle it loose, after which it was possible to get access to the 3 screws inside the fender. So once those were loosened, I think the last thing, which was the most difficult, but not that difficult, were the 3 nuts over here. They were difficult in the sense that they were kind of in a tight spot, so it was necessary to use a 10mm wrench. You couldn't get a socket in there due to the confined space. but once those three nuts were removed, it was just a question of unclipping a few final harness unclipping the harness from the fender, and then also loosening this like washer hose from the fender, and then the entire fender could be taken out, revealing this. So I must say, this is like the first time I've disassembled a vehicle to this state, but it's pretty cool. It was great to see that everything underneath was unscathed, looked pretty much perfect, and as I said, the bonnet also lines up perfectly with the other side. That's it. So as a next video, I'll go over how I messed up, how I goofed. Till the next one. Oh, I just remembered, I forgot to explain how I took the mirror off. That was done by, first of all, removing a piece of trim over here, using a spatula, wooden spatula. So once this piece of trim was removed, it gave access to this portion, this part, where it was then possible to unclip the wiring harness of the mirror. Then there was a large bolt in here, which was loosened using a Torx 40. And then once that was removed carefully, you don't want to drop the bolt in there, it was possible to take the mirror out. And the key thing is to tie a piece of string to the wiring harness, because when you're putting the replacement mirror in there, you'd want to be able to do that without having to disassemble the entire door trim, and a piece of string is what helps you do that. Okay, till the next video.